Yep. So this is another experiment of mine that I'm doing. Um, got a few little different gadgets and gadgets and stuff. I got this mic. Oh no, I can let you see it here. Right there, you see it. I got that little mic. Can you see it? Anyway, I got that to record with. And so what I'm going to be doing is just letting you ride with me as I'm right now. I'm headed to York, Pennsylvania. Um, I'm doing it on StreamYard, right? So that way I'm able to go back and clip things for TikTok and YouTube Shorts and Reels. So pretty much what I'm gonna be doing is just riding, rolling, and ranting, rambling, reflecting, reminiscing, all of that. I want to let you know I can't see, I can't. You know what I mean? I can't see the comments, so I just pinned a post about that. Uh, but it post? Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. So anyway, I'm going to be recording while I'm rolling, rambling, reflecting, reminiscing, all of that good stuff. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to clip it to make different episodes or whatever. Um, and the reason that I'm doing this, Up the Scope Media Group, when I came up with the idea, the vision was to have a like a actual media group where I have different shows, animated shows, podcasts, series, movies, music, books, online courses, all of that stuff. I want it all. And so that's pretty much what I'm in the process of doing. I'm in the process of creating that. It's a process. But my thing is slow progress is better than no progress. You know what I mean? So I grind it out. Things are looking better. And so I'm happy about that. You know what I mean? Um, I'm really happy about that. And, couldn't ask for more at this particular time. But anyway, like I said, right now, I'm in just outside of Indianapolis, maybe a little bit away from, I'm Dayton, Ohio. After Dayton, I'll be headed to Wheeling, West Virginia, then into Pennsylvania, and then all parts in between. So I'm kind of just getting set up right now. I'm trying to get my steps in before I get started. But today I want to talk about, first of all, the $2,000 tariff stimulus, whatever you want to call it. I want to talk about that for a second. I want to talk about this new Epstein thing with Trump now saying he wants the Republicans to vote to release the files. What? If you caught one of my previous shows, remember they said there weren't any files, right? Said there's no files. Then he said it was hoaxes all the time. So anyway, I'm gonna talk about that. I might get into what's going on in Venezuela. This thing about if we're gonna have military action there. And then I'll probably just rant, rave, and all that good stuff. Uh, yeah. Oh, and the Bears. I got to talk about the Bears. I don't know if you guys are Bears fans. Hey, how you doing? Tala, I don't know how to say that, but how you doing? Um, like I said, I can't see when I get to driving. When I start driving, I won't be able to see your comments. But if you leave a comment, I'll make sure to get back to you. I will respond eventually. You know, I might try some of my jokes on you guys too. I got like these jokes I've been working on. Like one was these guys, right? They meet at the alumni dance or whatever you want to call it, right? They meet there. And one of the guys, he says, why are you are you married, single, whatever? He says, oh man, I just got to. Anyway, the whole idea of the joke is to make being in a relationship sound like being in prison. So I got to get it together, get the punchline and stuff. It was like, yeah, when you get out of a relationship, it's like, oh yeah, I just got out of there, man. It was horrible, terrible. Couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't go anywhere I wanted to go. Couldn't eat what I wanted to eat. Nothing. It sounds like they're locked. Do do do. Well, anyway, yeah. Well, so I'll try that one. Because I want to do it where animated. It's an animated character doing like stand up. So I might actually try to do that. But yeah, I even got a series out I'm working on called Ace Carter, Missing Persons. Well, Ace Carter, private investigator, missing persons. He's looking for like missing people or whatever. I'm doing the POV. I'm hoping that it works out how I'm planning for it to work out, but I don't know. I don't know if it will or not. But you know, we can hope. What's going on, Yanni? Or Yannick Van Rupen 1101. Yannick Van Rupen. What's going on? So yeah, we're about to get in the truck and get on down the road, people. Get in the truck and get down the road. And if you guys can think of any topics that you want to talk about or that I can ramble about, let me know. Let me know, and I will do that. But besides that, let me get into my drive. Get into drive mode. You know what I'm saying? Get into the drive mode. So this is where I'll sit you guys. Oh shoot. Okay, yeah. You guys are there. So let's get started on down this road. And let me know if you can't hear me, if at any time you have any audio issues or anything, or I'm having audio issues. Let me know. That's so heavy here. So anyway, I guess it's official. Came from I forget who what I saw it earlier today. We should be getting $2,000 stimulus tariff check or something like that. I understand. And what's interesting about that, when you put it in perspective, is that tariffs are passed on to the consumer, right? So what has happened is we've been paying more for stuff, right? Right. Then turn right. And now I guess he wants to give us a portion of what we've been paying back. And I think it's real convenient that it's coming right around. If it happens, I think what they're going to do is have it issue it before Christmas. And I say that because that would be the best move, right? Right. Like if people are suffering, you know, the economy is doing bad. They're worried about, Christmas and stuff because most people, of course, will be celebrating Christmas to some degree. So if they've been worried about that, now you say, okay, well, these checks are coming, and people can, I think that they will announce that they'll be here. They will be here before Christmas. So I'm thinking within, say, the next couple of weeks, right? I would think within the next couple of weeks, they'll let you know. See, and this is the one thing about coming. See, my wife didn't know this. She had no idea, about this particular road. But the thing is, if this exit is closed. And I remember I went this way before because sometimes this is our fuel start. And what happens is that you have to go all the way through the town, and this all type of weird stuff you got to do. You can't get on the exit. This exit right here is closed. Yeah, to get back off going that way. Right, yeah, it's closed right here. You see it? It's right here. Yeah, it's closed. Yeah, I've been here before. Sometimes I turn around and I just come back this way, but I don't know if I'm gonna do it during the daytime. 3.1 miles ahead. But if you don't, you got to go all through the town and stuff. This is like, no, there's nowhere to. Is it? There's a gas station over here. There's Shells right here. That one right there. Okay. Oh, okay, I see it. There you go, baby. Spirit finger. Spirit finger, baby. Well, how was I talking stuff? I just said you didn't know that the thing was closed. That's all I said. Don't try to come up here and try to like ruin my life. Don't do that. I'm joking. I'm joking, baby. That was a joke. That was a joke for real. I was only joking. And then I let that joke. Baby. Wait, hold on. 1 mile ahead. Right here? Left on Rose City Boulevard. Oh, okay, that's good. I'll put it up right here. The turn right. Yeah. And you can't go out right there. Miles ahead. Turn left on Enterprise Drive. We go right here. Right here. In their parking lot. Okay, that's what I was saying. Yeah, I'm doing that for the camera. You got to be doing that for the camera, baby. Yeah, I see. Thank you, thank you. I mean, what are you right on Industries Road? What? Oh no. You don't think you can put that sideways? Right on Indiana 38 West Williamsburg Height. It might be. Right. But you just gotta have. I think you gotta have like something to put. I don't know if you can still put it on block. You know what I mean? But to run the utility, right on Indiana, I looked it up before, like 20,000. Yeah, so they're probably going to issue these tariff checks just in just in time for Christmas. Just in time for Christmas. So you can spend it right back because really, when you're thinking that it's supposed to be helping you, But what his real intentions are is to help the business, the corporation. You know what I mean? To make sure that if they've been going through a rough patch in a rough period of time, through this downturn, that he is helping them, because keep in mind that's why they have Black Friday sales. I think that's one of the main reasons for Christmas period is to liquidate. You know what I mean? Because you have to make room for new inventory. The fiscal year ends. So when the fiscal year ends, your inventory, I forget how it works. It's something about how the inventory works, where you want to get rid of as much of the old inventory as possible to make room for the new stuff. So the TVs that they had, it's going to be a new 55 inch, but you can get a 55-inch that was out this year. We're going to sell it for cheaper right now because we need them out. You know what I mean? Like, we need them out because we have the new ones coming in. You know what I mean? There's still going to be. I bet you, if people actually uh, looked into it, or did an experiment, they would probably find, like, say for instance, a 55-inch TV that you have on sale for Black Friday, right? Right after Black Friday, like in January or something like that, I bet you'll find the same TV. It's going to be a newer TV, a newer model, but it's going to have a comparable price to the one that you just bought from that old inventory. I can guarantee you that. So I think that's what he'll do. But keep in mind, he says so many things about what he's going to do that he never does. Because just last month, it was supposed to be tariff, a tariff check for the farmers. Remember? And then you didn't hear anything else about that. They kind of just fizzled, you know. So I don't know if he's going to say, well, this is part of it, the one for the farmers. But I'll say this: as far as him going back and forth flip flop, right? I mentioned it before. I call him the great flip flop, right? Trump is a great flip flopper. I don't know if that's how you. I don't know, from my research, he's never actually done well in business. So I don't know where people are getting that information from, but I wonder if being a con man is part of being a good businessman. Because if we're talking about con men, he is one of the greatest con men ever. Now, keep in mind, and like I said, I talked about this on a previous show. Just recently, remember when Bondi, whatever the lady's name is, supposed to come out with the files, right? Then all of a sudden, they say the files don't exist. There are no Epstein files. You remember this, right? Am I tripping? I'm asking you, Carmen. He said they did not exist, right? Trump and Bondi said there were no Epstein files. He told his followers, his MAGA supporters, stop talking about the Epstein files. There are no Epstein files. It was all a hoax. That's what he said. Now, the whatever, I don't even know what is going on with these files, but where these files came from. But they haven't. Now, what I think happened was that the estate, the Epstein estate, gave them this information, these emails and all of this stuff. I think that they are the ones that did it. If I'm not mistaken, now, if I'm mistaken, please correct me, people. Leave a comment or something. But I believe that the Epstein estate released these particular documents, these files that they have right now. And now that they have, now all of a sudden, Trump is saying, reversal. He's saying, let's release the file. He wants Republicans to vote to release the file. But as people are saying, and I don't know, maybe it's going to exonerate him from any culpability or involvement in this particular fiasco. But maybe it's all been redacted. That's what some people are saying, that it's pretty much all been redacted. It's not there anymore. And that also could be the case. We don't know. But I'm interested in seeing how it plays out. will eventually all of the files be released, and because as most people are saying, whoever's involved should be held accountable. That's my personal. Now all of the my viewers are gone. I guess I. Uh, but anyway, let me tell you what I'm doing. Right. What I'm going to do. So if you want to talk or whatever, ask me a question so I can talk. Because what I'm doing, and this is a new idea that I had, was I got the mic. You know that one mic thing, the mic that the one that we had, that one that I can put on my. Anyway, that mic. Right. I got the mic, and what I figured that I would do is that again, I'm always two, three, four birds, one stone, right? So I was like, what I can do is I can go live with the mic while I'm driving, right? I can go live with the mic while I'm driving. I can do that on StreamYard. So now I'm on StreamYard doing it. What happens on StreamYard is once I'm done, I can have StreamYard uh, make clips. You know what I mean? They'll take certain parts of the stream or the recording and they'll make clips, right? So while I'm live, I'll be live on like YouTube, Facebook, and I believe Twitch. I'll be live on all three platforms. And so I would do these rantings and ramblings and reflections and things like that, while I'm on the live. And then I'll go back on the StreamYard and I'll just have it clip it out. You know what I mean? So I just asked you to give me some topics and stuff that I can talk about, huh? Are you gonna give me some topics or something? Or are you gonna act like you sleep? You sleep? Darn it. Do you hear me talking to you? I've been talking to you this whole time. Okay. I need some topics. I need you to ask me some questions and stuff like that so I can talk about them on my live. Because like I said, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be live and it's gonna be on all three platforms. But StreamYard is gonna record it. Then I'm gonna go back to StreamYard and I'm gonna have StreamYard make the clips, right? When I make the clips, I'm gonna put them out as the animated person. You see what I'm saying? Well, if you come up here, you'll be able to hear. Okay, all right. Okay. You're right. You're right. That's how you feel? All right. They gotta give me a topic or something so I can talk. What else am I gonna talk about? I already talked about the Bears. The Bears, I wonder if they're the real thing. You know what I mean? I am a Bears fan. I've been a Bears fan for a very long time. Kind of, sort of. I'm not really a fan of sports anymore. Uh, I just don't. I guess I'm not a fan of too much of anything, to be quite honest. And, it's even with a lot of the content that people are making, are creating. I absolutely loathe uh, uh, AI video. You know what I mean? And when I say AI videos, I'm talking about video where you are trying to give the impression that it's real. You know what I mean? I don't like that deception for some reason. I just don't like it. You know what I mean? If you're going to use AI to create content, make it. I guess we're now entering Ohio. I don't know. Maybe that's being unfair. You know what I mean? Because I use AI for a number. But I don't think that mine is. I think that when I use mine, it's still honest. Like you know that it's not. It's not. I'm not trying to uh, trick your mind or anything like that. I'm not trying to convince you that something that is fake is real. And people are doing that more often. And I guess the scary part about it is that some people aren't able to know the difference. And to me, it's kind of scary because you know where we're headed is we're going to be living in a place where you're going to be question reality. You're going to question reality because you're not going to know what's real and what's fake. You know, just because of AI, you won't know what news to trust. I say that because the fact is, people can just say they're ABC or NBC affiliate, an ABC affiliate. How would you know the difference? How is Facebook uh, putting safeguards to prevent you or to prevent people from doing so? They aren't. So when you think that you're looking at an actual news outlet, it could just be some guy who's created the page and using AI uh, to create the news. You know what I mean? And I think that's very dangerous. I think that people have to. I mean, you know, I was going to talk about this. You know, on everything's debatable this past weekend. I didn't get the chance to get to it, but I think so. Anyway, what someone sent me was a picture. I guess you could call it a meme, and the picture was of a black woman, a black child, and a black man. They said the black woman is controlled by the church, the black kid is controlled by school, and the black man is controlled by prison. Right? And my initial thought was that meme or that picture is very shallow. It's lacking in context and everything. I mean, uh, you can simplify it like that, but it's so simplified that you would miss the truth. And the truth is that the entire world has a social order, right? A social order. You can look this up, research it. Social order. Social order is like the institutions, the norms, whatever. It's the way that we as people in society are supposed to act, right? And it's encouraged or we're conditioned by different institutions, whether it's within our family, within social groups at school, at work, wherever. All of these norms, the way that we're supposed to be, and the way that we're supposed to think, and the way that we're supposed to act, it's all there. And you don't have to. Uh, you don't have to want to be a part of it, of this social order. You just are. You are born into it. And anytime that a person tries to stray away from these norms or think outside the box or anything, then what you will call is a deviant or you're abnormal, right? And like I said, one of those institutions that is part of this social order is the school. Schools are part of it. And it's very interesting. I was going to mention this on the show. I remember I was researching about the educational system in the United States. And it was saying that the entire educational system from K through 12 is all based on conditioning, right? They are conditioning. And so that's why, you know, you have those, you know, sit in the corner with a dunce cap. You know what I mean? Because then you feel isolated and alone. You feel stupid. You know, you don't want to, because whatever you did that got you in that corner, because you're there now, you're like, hey, I don't want to do that again because I don't want to be the dunce in the corner. Or when you were running down the hall and they would say, stop, walk back and then walk back down here. That was all conditioning. But what is more from K to 12, you are not taught to think. That actually happens when you get to college. From K to 12, you are taught to memorize. Uh, that's why most of the questions for a test are either multiple choice, true or false, uh, or they may give you a essay, but you still have the answer. You just have to remember. Usually, they'll say put it in your own words, right? So you're not taught to think, and I think that is one of the underlying issues with the people in the United States of America. I don't know if the rest of the world recognizes it. I don't. But the United States of America has, and this is just my honest opinion. Me being honest, right? It has some of the dumbest people on the planet. And let me say, it has some of the dumbest people that I have experienced because I have not experienced everyone on the planet. I have experienced people here. And, and so to bring that back to the point that I was trying to make, the fact that people will be able to make up news, right? And make up create these AI images is scary because you're going to couple that with some of the stupidest people on the planet. So that's like people right now, how they believe certain things. Like I tell people all the time, I don't have any loyalty to a political party. I'm neither Democrat nor Republican, right? And I can point out issues that I've had with all of the presidents that have been in office since I have been living on this earth, right? Whether we go back to Reagan, I think I might have been at as in. I was born. I'm not going to go into all that. I'm going to tell you about the presidents. I remember Reagan, right? Reagan. Later, we find out about trickle down economics, right? A failed economic policy. The wealthy only got wealthier, and the poor got poorer, right? Didn't work. George Bush Senior, right? War on drugs. Remember that? War on drugs. During that same time, what we find out later on is that the CIA was selling drugs, pushing drugs into black community, right? So issue with that, Bill Clinton. Now keep in mind in '84, they privatized prisons, right? In '84, they privatized prisons. So now prisons are for profit. Anytime an institution is about profit, they have a reason to lock more people up. And so from that time, they started to have more lobbyists. And so they were lobbying for like the three strikes, the mandatory sentencing, the habitual criminal, things like that. So you have Bill Clinton, right? Bill Clinton was one of the, the presidents who was heavily involved in what was later called mass incarceration. It was mentioned in the 13th Amendment, the documentary. Then you had George Bush uh, Jr., the other one. And they just simply lied to us about the weapons of mass destruction that Saddam Hussein was said to have, and later on they say, well, no, he didn't really have any weapons of mass destruction, right? Or whatever. Obama, and I have to be honest. I have to be completely honest. I was excited. I was probably as excited, if not more, than a lot of black people when President Obama was nominated to even run for president. I'm not saying when he became president. I'm talking about when he was nominated to run the Democratic Party, right? I was excited as anyone else. But then, I'm the type of person who I question everything, right? I feel that's the only way you can really know the truth is if you question everything. If you just go along with stuff, then just like any other sheep in the herd, just going along. So anyway, I was just curious as to who he was. Who's Obama? I never even heard of the guy. I'm sure other people might have heard of him. I hadn't heard of him. Even though I think at the time was the representative state senator, right? My wife might be sleeping. I think that he was one of those. So anyway, what I find interesting, you can go back and you can look this up, and you may call me a conspiracy theorist, whatever. Don't really care, right? For a long time, I've known about the Bilderberg. I don't know if you've heard about this Bilderberg group. Pretty much, they have this meeting like every 2 or 4 years or something like that. Maybe more. I can't remember. I haven't looked it up for a long time. But anyway, what happens is that all of these powerful people around the world meet, right? They all meet presidents, kings, queens, princes, business moguls, uh, bless you. All of these people, they meet, right? And you don't know what the conversation is. You're not, the cameras aren't allowed in. They don't come out and say, hey, yeah, we had this meeting we talked about. We don't know what the conversation is at these Bilderberger meetings. We just know that they're meeting. And they've been doing it for a while. Bless you. Um, and if you go back, the Council on Foreign Affairs, uh, and other, whatever, uh, Rhodes Scholars, all of this. But anyway, so if you recall, I don't know if you remember this. I don't know if you remember this, but at a certain point in time, no, they couldn't. When he got nominated to run for the Democratic Party, he disappeared for like 2 days. Obama disappeared for 2 days. They couldn't find him. They didn't know where he was at, right? And what I found out later is that when he was missing during that time, that was his first visit to the Bilderberg meeting. His first visit. Him and Hillary Clinton, they were both there. So in my mind, I'm like, well, why was that your first time there after you were nominated to run for the Democratic Party? And what was the conversation? What conversation did you have there with those people? But and I know a lot of people don't, think it's true, but I mean, even on a smaller scale, you have groups of people who come together who have a common mission, a common agenda. So the fact that people can't see that happen on a bigger scale. Okay, but yeah, and so and then what did he do? I guess he gave phones, but I believe the phones were a setup. I believe that was about for one tracking, right? Because what you had to do to get the phone was that you had to come with your ID. They knew who you were. It wasn't like you were getting like a track phone where it's a burner you could just get rid of it. They knew exactly who you were when you had the phone. And then you were given the permission to track you, right? And they could probably look at all your conversations, all of your texts, emails, whatever, right? And I'm sure you probably didn't look at the what's the word, Carmen? I need these words. You know what I mean? The contract. You didn't look at the contract. What's the word that I'm looking for? The words. When you get something, the agreement, the terms and conditions. You did not look at the terms and conditions when you got the Obama phone. So you got an Obama phone, and then he gave you Obamacare, right? Supposed to be universal health care, but keep in mind, universal health care is not a novel idea. It's not. It's not a novel idea. It's not new. There are plenty of other countries who have universal health care. So, and I guess I still don't get it, but people say that it brought their premiums down. So maybe it worked. Maybe it is working. So that is one thing that he did do. And people will argue that he killed Osama bin Laden. Yeah, he did do that. But he also killed Gaddafi. And then after killing Gaddafi, the country, is in chaos. Right? So I don't trust any of them. Biden, Trump, So I mean, during his last presidency, you really couldn't get a gauge. I mean, how would you grade him for his last presidency? I mean, during that time, we pretty much dealing with COVID. I don't know. Then you had the January 6th event, and I thought that was terrible. I mean, I don't think that any president should uh, such a treasonous act. I felt it was an act of treason. I felt that all of those people that were involved in it definitely should have been pardoned. You know what I mean? But that's me. I consider myself a patriot. I maybe explain that at another time, but yeah, I actually believe that I'm a patriot. So I didn't, and then just recently he pardoned some more of those people involved in January 6th. Right. I don't even know what can we call it. I mean, they all been pardoned. Was it a riot? Was it a peaceful protest? Yes. But yeah, I think we've been rolling for about an hour. I don't know how long I've been on here. I think I need this footage much anything else. I think I'm gonna go ahead and end it now. Back another time. Another time. I hope the audio can work right. White brain either. How good the audio is. Just pick it up all in the background. But here again later. If I come up with some topics, I might get right back on there. I just don't want to record so long that the StreamYard finds it difficult to clip the shorts. You're always welcome to look for everything's available. I'm looking for people that want to be a voice actor, make animated. So if you have any ideas for a writer, songwriter, and music, whatever, you looking to build the brand, the empire, the upscale media empire. Go check out OC Street Files, TikTok or YouTube, OC Street Files. Um, and then, go check out upscale media. This is the YouTube, but also TikTok. Check it out there. Follow me on Facebook. Yeah, all that good stuff. And now I got to go to my better class so that I'm staying stuff. So I think I'm right outside of Columbus. I know I have to face the day. As the stop, my fuel stop. All right, see you later.